Hi, so after the last video I was inspired to go through my pile of shame. We've all got one, haven't we? Those collections of projects that we started and never finished and sitting there gathering dust. This is one of those projects. It's a 55 Chevy that is kind of half done. So I'd stripped it and I've added some bits and pieces. So there's some medication foil in the windows there, and also some corrugated card in the back, and that's pretty much as far as I've got. So what I'm going to do is pick up where I left off with this project, and I'm going to carry on and I'm going to see what I can do with it. First stage complete. I've added some sort of perforated plate stuff on the front to act as armour for the radiator grille. I've put a grille on the front windscreen. I've taken the wheels off because where we're going we ain't gonna need wheels, and I've just sort of trimmed the bottom down a little bit. Yeah, so here we are. I have put tracks on the side of this thing, and these are supposed to be kind of like, you know, mud guards or whatever. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I've used one of the wheels that I clipped off because I want a turret on top of this vehicle, and so that turret is giving me a mount for a 3D printed minigun that's just gonna go boom on the top there. So I've done a little bit more now. I've added a kind of a visor thing along there just to make it look a bit more robust and armoured. Things have been painted and base coated it in brown with some washes and some rust effects stippled on. I'll be using the hairspray chipping technique, and if you don't know what the hairspray chipping technique is, then check out our video on the subject that we did a short while ago. Anyway, so I did a couple of coats of hairspray over the base rust paint, and then a couple of light coats, when that was dry, a couple of light coats of white rattle can over the top. Now I'm coming in with just a cheap and nasty makeup brush and water, just water, and I'm going to try and work this. So basically the idea is you keep working until the water gets into the hairspray, and then the hairspray starts to dissolve. But there you go, I think you can see it starting to happen up there. Yeah, don't go away, still scrubbing. It takes a while to get it to start, and then once you're in, it seems to work quite quickly. So with that in mind, you've got to be careful you don't overdo it. I've done a matte varnish, spray varnish coat over the top. So what I'm going to do with my knackered old brushes, I'm going to touch some fresher looking rust just into bits of it. And I'm going to make a really thin fresh rust wash now, and just get this into some of the recesses. Now I'm going to start making use of some washes, oil stains. So there you go, once that's dry I think that'll look okay. I think that's the metal details done. Made a bit of a mistake here. What I've done, I painted the tracks brown, which wasn't a mistake, and then I've put some sort of texture paint around the wheels on the tracks to try and make it look a bit gummed up. But what I was going to do first was dry brush some silver around the running gear and stuff, and then put the texture paint over the top. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is do a bit of dry brush now and then come back in with more texture paint, which is a pain, but hey ho. So good old makeup brush, a little bit of silver. What I'm going to do now is come back in with the texture paint. The texture paint I'm going to be using is Green Stuff World, which is There you go. Guess that'll do. Let's leave that to dry. So let's come in now with a rust wash. Same as my usual, it's sort of 50-50 rust wash and medium, and a little bit of water as well, just to increase the flow. And this is going to go all over the entire thing. But yeah, let's leave that to settle and to dry. So here it is. The wash is dry. I could call it done, but I'm just going to do what I always do and tit around with it for a bit more. I'm just going to dab in a little bit more of the fresh rust in places. Right, that's more or less done. One last little bit. This is my good old favourite, very washed down rust washes. Just doing it around the bumpers. Well, bumpers on this side of the Atlantic, on the other side of the Atlantic, I don't know, are they fenders, I guess? Fenders! That was me being American, in case you didn't recognise it. I think, I mean, I could spend all night titting around with this, but I'm pretty much there, I think. Do you know what? That'll do, won't it? That's done. That's done. I'm not going to do any more on this. I'm going to let it dry, and then we'll come back for the glamour shots, and that will be job done. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is the compulsory bit where I beg you to subscribe and to like and to share and to comment, etc, etc. Please do, because it would make us happy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.